Welcome to the Impact of Reality. Where we tackle the tough topics of relationships and relational values. I'm your host, L.K. Harris. Welcome to the Impact of Reality. I'm your host, L.K. Harris. Today we're talking about relationships with our politicians. We'll be talking about transparency and honesty and quite a few other things. So when we come back, we'll begin transparency and relationships with our politicians. See you in a few.
My name is Al Williams. For 22 years, Al's Fashion has been helping people in Richmond look good. We would like to invite you to come check our store out. We have the latest selection of slim fit suits, double-breasted suits, and zoot suits. We also have shoes and hats to match. And we also sell the largest selection of NFL t-shirts. We're located at the Regency Square Mall. Our phone number is 804-754-1392. I want you to come check us out.
So come see us at Murray Automotive, 1731 Dolphin Court, Powhatan, Virginia, 2.5 miles west of 288 and Route 60.
And we're back. Today we're going to be talking about politicians, talking about government, transparency, honesty, open door policies, and respect. Well, let's get right into it. In November, we're going to be voting. Who are we going to be voting for and why? What kind of delegate do you want? Who do you want running the state of Virginia? Are they going to be transparent? We have quite a few people that's going to be running. Do you know why you're going to be voting for them? We're not going to call out any names today, but we are going to talk about honesty. Who's honest and what is honesty about? When you have relationships with your mate, we talk to them about everything. Our mates have open door policies. We can talk to them about what we did today, how we feel about certain things of that nature. Well, that's life, correct? So what about our politicians? Can we talk to them about everything? I'm thinking about the open door policy because I know sometimes we call our politicians or call them out on certain things. They tend to hide or just not show up. So today I want to talk about open door policies and honesty. When they say they have other things to do, well, we know it's politics. You have a lot of things to do. You run in the state or you run in the city, you run in the country, you run in the town. There's a lot of things that goes on that I don't know about. But when I vote for the president, when I vote for a governor, when I vote for a mayor, can I talk to them? When they receive my letters, do they respond? Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. And we know they get millions of letters, thousands of letters, depends on what you're doing. But do they have enough time just to get back with us? I think that they should have more town hall meetings. And it's up to us to come to those meetings, to voice our opinions about things that's going on right here in our cities, our states, our towns, our country. Well, I don't expect the president to come to our city and say, okay, we're going to have a town hall meeting, but I do expect him to come to our city and talk to us. I expect every politician to talk to us, to have a level of transparency to whereby we can call them out on topics. I don't believe in talking about gay rights, about black and white, but they're there and it's open. This last week we've had a lot of changes in this country. A lot of people are happy, a lot of people are not. We have to ask ourselves why. How do we feel about that? How do we feel about certain things? When we talk to our politicians about these things, when they go to vote on these things, are they hearing us as all as one? Or are they sticking to the politically correctness of it? My goal today is to just open our minds to certain things about politics and politicians. I personally don't like politics. I don't. And because I believe it's too much, it's not to say give and take. It's too much, as I say, politically correctness. It's too much finance involved in it and not enough of heartfelt involvement. But then that's just my opinion. But I don't get a chance to really talk to our politicians as much as I would like to. I would like to have politicians to come on my show and talk to my viewers about what they feel and how they feel about running our city, running our state, running our town, because it's important to us. We have to make sure we know who we're voting for and why we're voting for them. What's their agenda? Can we talk to these people that's making decisions for our lives? As I said, some very big things has happened over the last week. Some very good, some very bad, in my opinion. But at the same time, you have an opinion as well, and it needs to be heard. I think that if we, as a unit, all as one voice, meet our politicians, then I think we'll be able to make some ground on where we're going, where they're going, or where they plan to take us. November is going to be very big because a lot of things are happening in November. Some new people are going to be running this country, this city, this state, this town. Of course, we have another year for the president, but just about everything else is going to be open. And we have to really take a strong look at it. Who do you want to lead you? How do you feel about gay rights? How do you feel about politicians? How do you feel about things that's going on right now? How do you feel? You can write to congressmen, you can write to mayor, but it's nothing like seeing them face to face, talking to them one-on-one. Nothing like it. Start attending some of these meetings that they're having. Ask questions. Are they being transparent with us? Do they have a true open door policy? More importantly, are they respecting us? Are they respecting our decisions? So anyway, we're going to take a small break. And when we come back, we'll continue with relationships and politicians.
I'm Iris Bowling, executive producer of the Heart TV series. To advertise with this sexy political drama, call 804-476-8554.
Check out the Heart series. I think you will enjoy.
Welcome to The Impact of Reality. I'm your host, LK Harris. Join us right here every Saturday at 12 noon on WRIC TV, Channel 8. See you there.
So come see us at Murray Automotive, 1731 Dolphin Court, Powhatan, Virginia, 2.5 miles west of 288 and Route 60.
We at Planters Harvest want you to meet the movers, the shakers, the ones that won't take no for an answer. Meet the drum beaters, the dream keepers, the true believers, the life shapers, the risk takers. We all have dreams, a place where the sun shines on everything we do, where the world recognizes who we are. Let us at Planters Harvest Incorporated show the world what your dreams truly look like. Let us put your dreams on display. And we're back. Transparency in our government. How transparent are they being with us? When you try to reach your congressman, does anyone call you back? Even the secretary? It's hard. It's hard, especially when you're on the outside looking in. But again, we expect them to react to us, to be transparent in their thinking, in their actions. I guess my thing would be what motivates them. Votes, that motivates them. If you are not getting the respect you think you deserve from the person that's already in the office, don't vote for that person again. Vote for someone else, but find out why you're voting for them. Respect is major, very major. Because if they don't contact you back, if someone from that office at least call you back, or at least send you a letter to let you know that they're acknowledging that they heard from you, don't vote for them. Don't vote for them. I look at veterans right now. Our veterans are suffering. I know because I am a veteran. I am a veteran. And they're suffering. I sit here with my own personal problems from being a veteran. And I'm waiting for certain things to happen. I can only imagine what other veterans are doing that can't sit here, that can't even set up. They're suffering. We need to put people in office that's going to acknowledge that. People that's going to respect that, because our veterans have fought for us. They've gone overseas and they've stayed at home and they suffer. The damage that's being done is very, very serious. We have veterans that's dying while they're waiting just to get to see a doctor. Let's vote for someone that's going to assist our veterans, because it's serious. We're talking about fighting ISIS. We're talking about fighting all these other countries. We have other countries that fight with us. But if our veterans are not getting the respect they deserve right now, we're going to have a problem down the road. We have to make sure when we vote, especially when we vote for people that's going to Congress, they're going to have that respect for our veterans. They're going to look at the veterans with disabilities, and they're going to look at the veterans without disabilities, and they're going to see a person that's fighting or has fought for us. People that has given their lives up for us. Let's give these people the respect they deserve. They need to have our help, all of us, including me as a veteran, as a disabled veteran. They need our help. Let's talk to some of the veterans when we get a chance and just ask them, how do they feel about our government? How do they feel about what's going on in the world right now? Let's talk about something else. Racism. That's a hot topic right now. Why? It's 2015. We have an African American president. Why are we still on this issue? I don't understand that. Why are we still talking about racism today? Why? Why are people still bringing their kids up learning how to hate instead of learning how to be happy? Why? Does it make sense to you? It doesn't make sense to me. Love is something that God gave all of us because God is love. How come we can't teach our kids to love every human being? What is the problem? What spearheads this emotion from an adult to teach a child how to hate someone because of the color of their skin, or because they react differently to different things, or because they believe in a different faith? What is that? What is that about? I remember someone saying that's stinking thinking. I can't remember who that pastor was, but I remember her name. But that's stinking thinking. That's just something that we do not need in this society right now. It is 2015, and we're still talking about racism. Let's attack violence. We can attack violence a lot more with a lot more authority than we do racism, when racism spearheads violence. If I'm wrong, I expect someone to tell me or write me at plantersharvest.com. I'm okay with that. But I believe truly that racism is something that's taking our country down. If we don't start fighting for each other instead of against each other, we are going to have a major problem in this country. And it starts at the top, our politicians. We have to make sure we are all on one accord. We have to make sure they're thinking about us and not just their own agenda. Put them in front. But whoever we're going to put in front, make sure we understand who we're putting there and why we're putting them there. Because if you can't honor my decisions, then you definitely can't have my vote. If you can't respect who I am as a person, you can't have my vote. I want to have a relationship with my politician. Think about that. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Margot. Join us on the Impact of Reality, Saturdays at 12 noon on WRIC Channel 8, where we will tackle the tough topics of relationships and relational values. So join us. We'll see you then.
My name is Al Williams. For 22 years, House Fashion has been helping people in Richmond look good. We would like to invite you to come check our store out. We have the latest selection of slim fit suits, double-breasted suits, and zoot suits. We also have shoes and hats to match. And we also sell the largest selection of NFL t-shirts. We're located at the Regency Square Mall. Our phone number is 804-754-1392. I want you to come check us out.
So come see us at Murray Automotive, 1731 Dolphin Court, Palatine, Virginia, 2.5 miles west of 288 and Route 60.
Violence. More appropriately, domestic violence. Relationships. Relationships and violence shouldn't even be used in the same sentence. We want to have relationships, but we don't know how to have healthy relationships. We have a lot of people that talk about relationships. We have a lot of people that, you say, life coaches, that coaches people on how to have healthy relationships, but they don't tell people how to start healthy relationships. This book I've written, The Impact of Reality, it tells you about relationships, how to have and start healthy relationships. Therefore, we don't have to deal with domestic violence, because if you start a relationship correctly, you don't have to worry about fixing the relationship later. Fixing a relationship is a lot harder than starting it right. And if you start it right, fixing it won't even be an issue. Just trying to figure out where you're going to live, how you're going to live, and how happy you want to be. And if you start it right, those things will come as well. I tell people, put God first. But even if you don't believe in what you want until you can get there. Because you have to want something special for your own life. Domestic violence is something that should not be an issue in today's society. But for the women, if you want a good man in your life, you have to prove yourself as a good woman. How do you do that? respect yourself. Respect what you do. Hold yourself accountable to your own actions. And once that man realizes that you respect yourself, he's going to do one of two things. He's going to respect you, or he's going to leave, because he knows he can't get past who you are. Not who you want to be, but who you are. Love on yourself more than anybody else can love on you. Domestic violence should not be an issue. It shouldn't be a way out. You shouldn't have to live in it, and you should choose not to live in it. Time is very important to our lives, because if we don't spend time understanding who we are and what we want, we won't get anywhere, because we won't know who it is we want to be. Who do we want to become? Making choices in relationships is one of the most important things in the world. I have created a theory in my book. It's called the 4T theory. Time plus truth equals trust. It tells you all about breaking down relationships from the beginning. I can get into this book and I could talk for a year about what's in it. But I would say to you, it's something that you should actually look at, something you should actually read. Because time plus truth does equal trust. As for the men do get abused. Believe it or not, men do take a lot. There are women out there that are abusers. May not be physical, some of them are physical, but mostly it's mental, spiritual, emotional, financial. Women do abuse men on occasions, they do. May not be as prevalent as men abusing women, but it happens. All I can say to that is, guys, if you're being abused and you know you're being abused, for instance, women, if you have a man that wants to see that child, let them. Now, you know if this man is an alcoholic, if he's an abuser, you know that. I understand that. Then don't. But if you know that man's a good man, just because you and him don't have the kind of relationship that you want, let him have a relationship with that woman. Correction, with that child. Let him have that relationship, because that child needs that. Let that man love on that child. So, all I can say to that now is, we know it's there, we know it's real, we know it happens. Let's do something to fix it. Abuse is just another softer word for violence. It's just not as physical. Relationships are very important to everyone. If you breathe, you are in a relationship. When you meet someone on the street corner, you meet someone at church, you meet someone in a school, you meet someone in the store, you talk to them, you've started a relationship with that person. That's something that we want to have with our politicians. We want to meet them, talk to them, have a relationship with them. Time plus truth equals trust. We want to talk to these people. Domestic violence, again, starts at the top. It starts with you. It starts with the person you're dealing with. You are at the top. If you're going to have someone in your life, you're going to be teaching your kids what you teach that person, or how that person treats you. Your child is going to look at that and going to think it's okay to do that. So that child's going to think it's okay to either love you, or going to think it's okay to beat on you, or think it's okay to beat on their spouse or mate because of what they see. You have to choose to be in a healthy situation, healthy relationships. I want nothing but the best for you. I want nothing but reality for you. And reality is the best possible thing you can have in your life, or the worst possible thing you can have in your life. That's the reality we live in. I don't want to really stay on relationships about domestic violence too much, because it's one of those things where it actually hurts. It hurts me to think about it. It hurts me to talk to you about it, because I've witnessed it. I've seen it. And that's something that really bothers me. It's a tough topic for me. So getting back to politics and relationships, if you're a politician or the governor, the mayor, or whoever doesn't respect you, you know it. Try to reach them. Reach out to them. Try to share your thoughts, your feelings with them. I know it sounds like I've talked about a lot of things. I'm trying to get a lot of things in at one time. But believe me, relationships are very prevalent in our lives. It stays there, it's with us, so we have to make sure we stay focused. Know what you want in a relationship, whether it's with a politician, it's with your mate, it's with your child. Stay focused on what you want. Stay happy, stay blessed. We're going to take another break. Be right back. We at Planters Harvest want you to meet the movers, the shakers, the ones that won't take no for an answer. Meet the drum beaters, the dream keepers, the true believers, the life shapers, the risk takers. We all have dreams, a place where the sun shines on everything we do, where the world recognizes who we are. Let us at Planters Harvest Incorporated show the world what your dreams truly look like. Let us put your dreams on display. I want to thank you all for tuning in today to The Impact of Reality. Remember, our politicians are the ones that make the decisions for our life. On November, they're going to be looking to us to pick who we're going to put in there. Know who you're voting for and why. I'm LK Harris. I thank you all for watching. Stay blessed.
Closed captioning provided by Planters Harvest Incorporated.
Sponsored in part by Murray's Automotive and Al's Fashions.